We're back to the drawing where the PHI data left the PC through the internet, and now we're going to see that it hits the router. The router is where the data center entry point is. Once it hits the router, we see that there is an appliance called the anti-DOS appliance. Anti-DOS is very important these days. As the level of denial of service attacks increases, it's important for your hosting provider, hosting your medical appliance and application, to have a perimeter device that protects against denial of service attacks. Otherwise, when your clients try to access your application, and if that hosting provider is under attack, they're not going to be, your clients won't be able to reach your application. So this is an important device. The other layer is identity protection. There are appliances that can protect based on IP reputation. So they call it identity or IP reputation. You can Google that and find out those who sell it. But these appliances help filter out the bad known IP addresses. Those are IP addresses that are used by hackers. They have a bad reputation, and this layer will block that. Finally, we get to the firewall. So you can see that we've added a couple of different layers. Once you get to the firewall, here you have the standard rules of who can access what. The firewall is protected by these two outside layers, and that's important because firewalls aren't good at blocking denial of service attacks, and they will go down during an attack. So the anti-DOS appliance is important. Also, we don't want to overwhelm the firewall with doing a lot of IP checking, IP reputation checking. So let's let the firewall do what it's good at, and that's opening ports and blocking ports. In here I drew a square that says server. Finally it hits the server, but this server itself will also have a firewall. So we have another firewall on this server where the application is. This firewall, I call it the web application firewall. It's different than the other firewall. Its job is to examine the web pages as the requests come through. It examines it and it sees if there's something anomalous. Is the URL too long? Does it have funny characters in it? Are they asking for something that they shouldn't be asking for on that website, etc.? The web application firewall is very good at trapping those kinds of errors. And then finally you get to your server where the application lives. The server itself must be hardened. That's a security term, meaning that when the server was built, certain services and ports were open and others were closed. Those that aren't being used for anything should be closed. So you have server hardening. So this is more of what it looks like for a hosting provider who's involved in supplying services to keep the site running, to keep it running securely, and most importantly, to keep it HIPAA compliant. Thank you for joining us today. I look forward to seeing you again.